Originally, AJ refused to speak. He was nonverbal, and it wasn't until he realized that he could say words about cars that he had any interest in saying words. And he was almost 3 years old by this point. And one of the first sentences, we were walking through a parking lot, and he walked over to a yellow Lotus Elise. And he looked at me and he put his hand on the hood and he said, "Yayo, peach? Yayo, peach?" And so I said, "You want a car?" And he just nodded his head. And that was one of the first actual interactions or conversations, if you will, that we had. So I bought him a model of the car and he was just absolutely thrilled. And he called it his yayo.
What's this one?
A BMW.
What's this one?
A Bugatti.
What's this one?
A Guinea.
We taught him colors. He was not interested in any of, like the color flashcards. Would completely ignore them. We bought a red car, an orange car, a green car, a yellow car, a blue car. Purple cars, as it turns out, are very hard to find. I painted purple on one with nail polish. If we asked him, "Okay, AJ, which is the red car?" he would pick it up and hand it to us. So that was our first, he definitely understands what we're saying to him. It's not an auditory thing. It's he only wants to talk about what he wants to talk about thing. Okay, that's cars. We're going to run with it. We taught him the alphabet by putting out car names. HONDA. AJ, point to the A. Okay, do you see another one? Good job. His third birthday cake. We had it printed with every car logo that we could fit on this cake.
Lexus, Lamborghini, Subaru, Mazda, Ferrari.
We were just thunderstruck because this is a child who just months ago was not talking. And here he is naming every single logo. And this is really when we realized how freakishly intelligent this child is. He's a literal savant when it comes to cars. We harnessed them.
Suzuki
and
Citroen.
and Saturn, Land Rover, Rolls-Royce, Volvo, BMW, Mercedes. Yes.
Cars they really have become an integral part of how he interacts. He will talk to anybody who is willing to listen to him about cars.
Hudson Hornet two-door coupe.
What's so special about the Hudson Hornet?
It was a muscle car that won many races.
In 1951, were there a lot of muscle cars?
Very. There was a 1955 Cadillac Chrysler C300 that won 20 races in a row.
And they've brought the C300 back, haven't they? Or is it just the 300?
It's just the 300.
Okay. So I don't know as much as you, so this is all...
I can tell this without the name tag. It is a Corvette. And so is that one.
And what years are they?
That's 1957, and that is earlier. That is like the world's first.
We put life in terms that he understands. And he refers to himself as a vehicle. Sometimes he is a Peterbilt. Sometimes he is a Formula One race car. If I need him to slow down, instead of saying slow down, I say, "AJ, downshift, please." And he will actually make the sounds and the hand motion of downshifting. If I need him to hurry up, "AJ, I need you to increase your torque and kick it into high gear for me, please." If he's not going the right direction that I need him to go, "AJ, left blinker." And out comes this little hand and it goes bing, 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 up and down. And then he pivots. He will often honk at people if they are in his way.
Please do.
Hang around with him long enough and he will do it to you. If he's tired, he will say, "Mommy, my tires are getting flat." That means his feet are getting tired. Everything is in terms of vehicles.
When did you start liking the Tucker?
When my mom got a uranium glass one that's about this big.
And so it just so happened that the car that I picked was a Boyd glass little candy dish or a candy container. They were made in all sorts of colors, and I got a red one because that's his favorite color. That was the first one, and it was uphill or downhill from there, depending on your perspective. He wanted to know what kind of a car it was. He started asking all sorts of questions, and it just spider webbed. Okay, who's Preston Tucker?
Say, that's pretty, isn't it? And believe me, that Tucker is a modern miracle of mechanics. And the man who built it, well, let me tell you something about Preston Thomas Tucker.
He wanted to know what kind of a car it was, and so we showed him how to use Alexa for research. Why did he want to make this car?
This car differs from other cars in many features.
Well, why doesn't the Tucker Automotive Company exist today? We bought him the first autobiography, and we started reading it together. And he carries this book around with him so that anytime he has downtime, he can reread pages.
Preston Thomas Tucker.
He was fascinated by Preston Tucker's vision, by the innovations in safety.
That is the 1948 Tucker torpedo. Rear-engined, and it is a helicopter engine.
A helicopter engine in a
Flat
car.
6 helicopter engines.
That seems unusual.
Capable of 130 miles an hour.
What else was special about the Tucker?
Safety.
Safety? For example, what kinds of features?
Seatbelts. Back in the late 40s. A dashboard that you could dive into in case of a crash. And if the windshields were to fall out, they would pop out instead of you diving out of the windshield, because every 25 seconds in 1948, someone dies.
In a car accident.
Yes.
And then he heard about this convertible. And his first question was, well, why would he make one? And I said, okay, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, Preston Tucker was all about safety, Mom. And a convertible is not it. His fascination with the car is much more about the man, the innovation, the knowledge that the little guy can, in fact, go up against, it might cost you everything, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. You can't win in the end.
Take a look at this Tucker. It was doing over 95 miles an hour when it was turned over 3 times. Yet they jacked it up, put on a new tire, and drove it away.
He wants to learn about science. He wants to learn about history. He wants to learn about business, economy, law, all because of the Tucker.